What up, boys, and welcome back to yet another season of Discovery video. So in this video, I thought that I would talk a little about add-ons, and there's a lot of people that uses like 50 different add-ons. That's not it. I use a couple of handful of add-ons, and we're gonna go through all of them and why I think at least the majority of them are essential for Classic WoW. Before we do that though, big thank you to all of you guys that has picked up the brand new Season of Discovery Gold Guide. Support has been insane, and I'm so glad that you guys are liking this Gold Guide for Season of Discovery. So right now you can find it in the link down below in the description. It's $10 and it comes with a lifetime of free updates. So right now this book is tailored towards phase 1 of Season of Discovery. But as soon as we know when the season or phase 2 of Season of Discovery releases, I'll just update the same gold guide and I send that updated version to your mail for free, for life. So if that sounds interesting, make sure to check it out down below in the description. So the first add-on, we just got to get it out of the way. It's the add-on that everyone uses. And in my opinion, the absolute best add-on for questing. And that is called Questy. Questy is going to tell you where you can pick up quests, where you can hand in quests, and it's going to tell you what you got to do in order to complete the quests. Now, if you haven't played Classic WoW for a while, you're probably not aware of the fact that you cannot see these things in Classic WoW unless you have an add-on for it. Like, there will literally be nothing marked on your map, so you have to actually read the quest unless you know them like by heart. So absolute great add-on. It's completely free, works for every single quest, and I've never had any issues with the add-on, the Questy. So definitely advise you guys to get Questy. Another one that's also frequently used that I just want to get out of the way is obviously the damage meter or healing meter, depending on what you want to view. And that's Details. I think Details is very solid. I don't have any issues with the numbers being off or anything like that. So for Classic, I always use Details. Not too handy while you're solo questing by yourself, but it's cool and fun to see where you're at, like when you're doing dungeons or even grouping up with people doing quests. So Details, have to get that one out of the way. Now, in terms of a mail add-on, I use the add-on that's called Postal. Now, Postal, very solid add-on. It's very simple. A lot of people are using TSM and mailing, and we're going to get to TSM as well. But Postal is just one of those really nice, simple to use add-ons. Now, when you open up your bags and if you want to send mail, it's going to have the latest character that you sent mail to on this list. There's you can even add your alts to it. So when you start typing, it's going to have suggestions that you've sent mail to in the past. So very handy. And probably my favorite thing about the add-on is the hotkey. So you can hold down Control, and let's say that I want to send all consumables to one of my alts. I can just hold down Control, I can click, and it's automatically going to add like all materials to my list right here. Or if I wanted to do consumables, I can also do the same thing on consumables, and it's going to like put all consumables in the bag automatically or in the mail automatically. So nice if you've like if you're doing a farm and you got a bunch of herbs, you got a bunch of ore, maybe cloth, and you want to send it to a specific tune, hold down Control, click it, and it's going to send all items of that sort or put it into the mailbox. So Postal, absolutely a great add-on. The next one that I think is really cool in Classic is a lot of people miss rare elites. And rare elite can be a really good source of getting those green items while you're leveling. So by getting the add-on that's called a Rare Scanner, this one right here, is literally going to pop up in the middle of your screen and mark the rare elite with a skull if you're close by. You can also open up your map and you can see the spawn locations of the mobs. You can click on them and you can see where they rotate. So if you're like ahead of the pack and you want to kill the rare elites while they're up, for like a chance of some good green items / blue items, Rare Scanner is definitely an add-on to have. Like, there's so many times in Classic WoW and Classic Hardcore where I was casually leveling and there was just rare elites just happening to be around me, and you get a good green upgrade. So definitely worth having the add-on rare scanner as well. The next add-on I use is target. Not target health, it's called the vendor price, because in classic WoW, you actually cannot see the vendor price of items. So you're often going to find yourself in the scenario where your bags are full and you need to deliver in a quest, and you're like, shit, what do I delete? And you obviously want to delete whatever vendor is for the least amount of gold, but you're not going to be able to see that unless you have an add-on for it. So there's an add-on that's literally called vendor price. Like, that's it. Vendor price will display the vendor price of an item, so you can view that. But if you have TSM, it's going to be able to do the same thing, though. Like, you can see it shows it twice. Under TSM general information, it says 28 copper, and then it says vendor 28 copper, like down below as well. But if you don't want to use TSM, then vendor price is a great alternative. Next up is the add-on that's called What's Training. So if you open up your spell book, you can see the add-on right here. It says on the tooltip, what can I train? But the add-on is called What's Training. And you can literally see all your levels, like which spells that are available that you haven't learned, which ones are coming soon in like the next level or two, and what's coming like further down the line. So you can actually view and see if it's even worth to go back to a capital city to learn new spells, or are they going to be spells that you don't really use while leveling? Save yourself some time, some golds, not having to go back to the capital city to learn the spells. It's just a super handy add-on to have, this one as well. Next up is also an add-on that comes in a lot of different varieties. There's a lot of add-ons doing the same thing. A lot of people are using Leatrix Plus, which by all means is a great add-on. It has a lot of utilities. You can instantly accept summons, you can instantly hand in and pick up quests, and you can also vendor items like automatically. I use the add-on Scrap on all versions of WoW. Scrap is an item, or not an item, it's an add-on that allows you to mark shitty items. It's going to mark gray items that has no use in the game whatsoever automatically, and you can see this golden coin when an item is marked as scrap. And if there's an item that it's selling for less on the auction house than you can get from the vendor price, or items that you don't care to put up on the auction house, you can also mark those by making a hotkey and mark that item. And then once you go to a vendor, you just got to click one button. And it's going to start vendoring. Like when you go to the vendor, it will start automatically vendoring all items marked. And then you can put like a safety net on it, so it can only vendor the max buyback, which is 12 items. And then you have to manually click it again to vendor another 12 item. But super good add-on to have. So make sure to get the add-on that's called Scrap if you're not using Leatrix, because Leatrix has literally the same feature as Scrap. It's just a nice standalone add-on. Now, on top of that, I love this add-on, always have. It's called Atlas Loot. Atlas Loot, it's simple. You can pretty much just select all the raids, all the crafts, all the PvP items, and you can view the loot from like that can drop in the dungeon, which is, I can never remember all the loot in the top of my head. So it's like, should I do Shadowfang Keep? Yeah, sure. I need this shield, right? What can I get from the next boss? Oh, this staff. Like, it's a nice handy add-on to have. Absolutely love that one. And then we have like more add-ons that's more towards the gold making aspect of the game. And obviously, as I'm deeply into gold making, I truly care about these add-ons. So there's two auction house add-ons that people frequently use. The first one is called Auctionator, which a lot of you guys are probably familiar with. It's a very nice and simple add-on to use in the classic WoW. You can go in the auction house, you can buy stuff off it, so you can search up linen cloth, for instance, and then you can view all the different stacks of linen cloth if you don't want to look through pages of low bid items. It's so handy. You're definitely going to end up eventually overpaying for items because people put like a very low bid amount but a high buyout amount, and like the first 5 pages is just filled with that. So having it for buying items is awesome. Having it for selling is also good. You can just click on selling, and then once you click on selling, you can just click the add-ons, and it's automatically going to scan the auction house to see if there's any items that are the same, and then it's going to recommend you a price to post for, which you can set the amount yourself, but in my case, it's set to 1 copper cheaper than the other auctions. So great add-on. But then you also have TSM. TSM, I mean, for the people that's using TSM already in or have used it in previous expansions, TSM is such a good add-on. I honestly don't use TSM for that much in Classic WoW, mainly for 2 things. The most important thing for me is being able to see what an item is posted for on the auction house. So I can look at these boots and I can see that they're posted for 50 silver in my realm. They have a market value in my realm, 62 silver. So if I'm out farming and I get something, I can see, is it really worth my time to put this on the auction house? Like this item goes in the auction house for 50 silver, but I can vendor it for 29. Am I going to care about it, or am I just going to vendor it? So it's absolutely great for that, but it's also really good for crafting. Like, dealing with crafting without TSM can be quite painful, because when you're dealing with crafting, you're like, time is money, so you're supposed to buy materials in the auction house, craft it into a product, and sell it for a profit. That is the most efficient way to make gold with crafting, rather than farming the mats yourself. And in order to do that, you need to see if the items are actually making a profit. TSM does that for you. So you can open up TSM crafting, in this case with tailoring, and I can see if there's anything that's going to sell for a profit. So I know that if I go on the auction house right now and I purchase the materials needed to craft the woolen boots, the materials are going to cost me 25 silver, right? But the item on the auction house only goes for 7 silver and 86 copper, so it's going to be a loss. So TSM is really good for crafting, super easy. You don't need any fancy groups or anything like that if you just want to see profit margins on it. So highly recommend you guys to also go and pick up that. Now, besides from that, there might be some add-ons that I forgot to mention that I'm going to end up using in Season of Discovery, but these are like my core add-ons that I always use and have always used in 2019 when Classic released Season of Mastery, and also like Classic Hardcore. So if you guys got any add-ons that you think is very crucial that I didn't mention in this video that I should take a look at, please let me know down below in the comment section. And hey, don't forget to check out the complete gold guide for Season of Discovery, link down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all back in at tomorrow's video. But until then, bye bye.